Hey, friends, and welcome back to Nourish with Regina, where we talk about transforming your plate and transforming your life. Before we dive in, I just wanted to start with a quick, honest moment. If you were expecting an episode last Tuesday and didn't see one, I'm so sorry. I was helping move my youngest child out of state. My oldest child was visiting from out of state, and it was just a lot. Um, in the best and hardest ways. So I also put on this beautiful gala for my full-time job, and it took a lot of heart and energy. And sometimes in life, we have to prioritize. Sometimes we push certain things to the back burner for a minute so that we can take care of our families, our health, our responsibilities. We're only human, and that's okay. So thank you for your grace, and thank you for being here today. Today's episode is one I've been really excited about because it bridges two powerful themes that we've been building together over the past podcasts. In January, we talked a lot about gut health, what it is, why it matters, how it influences nearly every other system in our body. And now in February, we're focusing on heart health, not just cholesterol numbers, but the full picture of cardiovascular wellness. Today, we're going to connect those dots. We're talking about the heart-gut connection, how your gut microbiome impacts cholesterol, inflammation, energy, and even your cravings. And I want to say this up front. This is not about restriction. It's not about perfection. It's about understanding and listening to your body so that you can work with it and not against it. So let's start here. For a long time, heart health was discussed almost entirely in terms of intake and cholesterol levels. Fat intake, I apologize. But modern research has expanded that view somewhat dramatically. We know now that inflammation is a major driver of cardiovascular disease. And one of the biggest regulators of inflammation in your body is, you guessed it, your gut. Your digestive tract isn't just where food is broken down, it's where immune cells are trained. It's where inflammatory signals are regulated. And it's where your body decides whether it's in a state of safety or stress. Remember, in fact, about 70% of your immune system lives in or around your gut. A fact well documented in peer-reviewed research, published in journals like Nature Reviews Immunology. So when your gut is inflamed or imbalanced, your immune system is constantly activated. And chronic immune activation contributes to systemic inflammation, including inflammation of your blood vessels, which matters a lot for your heart. So, I totally lost my train of thought there for a minute. But I've dealt with a lot of chronic inflammation in my lifetime, and I still deal with it. I do have two autoimmune disorders that I deal with on the daily, which also are affected greatly by inflammation in the body. And I tell you, when you really start focusing on your gut health, you can, in fact, at least for me, it did, see a great improvement in inflammation in your joints and in your body. And it can really improve your quality of life. And that's why this is so important to me, and that I'm sharing it with you, because if I can help even one person improve their quality of life, I want to do that. So when your gut lining becomes compromised, something that's often called intestinal permeability, meaning, or leaky gut, which we talked about before, that not all those nutrients, not everything gets absorbed. And then also some of the the other stuff can leak into your bloodstream. Research shows that this process can trigger systemic inflammation and increase your cardiovascular risk because, not only are your joints and everything inflamed, but your blood vessels constrict and become inflamed as well. And it doesn't happen overnight. It happens slowly and quietly over long amounts of time. So don't think that we're going to fix it overnight either. Many people normalize the symptoms of this, which include fatigue, bloating, joint stiffness, brain fog, stubborn weight loss. Those are all signals. Your body's talking to you. They're not flaws. They're not things that are wrong with you. So when we address our gut and our gut health, we often see improvements across multiple symptoms all at once. So if you listen to some of the January episodes, especially Gut Health 101 and the anti-inflammatory eating episode, and if you haven't heard those, I suggest you go back and listen to them. You probably noticed we keep coming back to one word over and over again, and that's fiber. Fiber is so important in your diet, and it does so many good things for you. And today I really want to slow down and explain what fiber actually is, because it's one of the most misunderstood and powerful nutrients for gut and heart health. So most people think fiber just helps with regularity, and it does, but that's honestly the smallest part of their story. Fiber is communication. So fiber is how the food you eat talks to your gut bacteria and how your gut bacteria talk back to your body. Pardon me. Fiber is a type of carbohydrate that your body cannot digest on its own. It passes through your small intestine and it reaches your large intestine where your gut bacteria live. And when those bacteria ferment the fiber, they produce compounds called short chain fatty acids, especially one called butyrate. Peer-reviewed research in Nature Reviews Gastroenterology and Hepatology shows that butyrate strengthens your gut lining, reduces inflammation, improves insulin sensitivity, and influences cholesterol metabolism. Fiber doesn't lower cholesterol directly. Your gut bacteria do. And that's why it's so important to have a healthy gut microbiome. A large meta-analysis published in The Lancet found that high fiber intake was associated with lower rates of heart disease, stroke, and mortality. This is biology. It's not trends. It doesn't change. It's the science of it. So how this affects cholesterol and heart risk is your liver produces bile acid to digest fats. Gut bacteria help determine whether those bile acids are reabsorbed or excreted. So when your fiber intake is adequate and gut bacteria are healthy, more bile acids are excreted. And the liver must pull cholesterol from the bloodstream to make more. This mechanism has been studied and documented, and it's kind of a great way to think about it, that your liver will pull the cholesterol from your blood to make more bile if your body is imbalanced. So this is why a lot of people see cholesterol improvements through nutrition and gut healing, especially early on. Even for myself, my cholesterol numbers have lowered. The bad cholesterol numbers have lowered greatly, and I'm at a very good level of the good cholesterol as well. So it does work. It does work. Nutrition isn't optional here. It's foundational, and it's what's going to support the systems in your body. So gut bacteria also influences your blood sugar response and your hunger signaling. Research shows that people respond differently to the same foods based on their gut microbiome, which is really fascinating. But this explains why gut healing often leads to fewer cravings, more stable energy, calmer appetite cues. You're not going to be feeling hungry all the time, not because of willpower, but because physiology has shifted in your body. And this is why when people say, I stopped fighting food, I know healing is happening when they don't feel like it's a struggle or a battle every day with food anymore. So instead of focusing on what to cut out, let's talk about what we're going to add in. Again, we're talking about fatty fish. Fatty fish like salmon are fantastic. They provide omega-3 fatty acids, which are shown to reduce inflammation and support vascular health. Berries, I love some blackberries and raspberries in some yogurt in the morning. Those provide polyphenols, and those polyphenols feed gut bacteria and improve endothelial function, according to studies. So those, and they're great in antioxidants too. So they're going to help your immune system as well. Those berries, blueberries, are also a good one too. So just, yeah, add some berries. Have a handful of berries and nuts for a snack if you're looking for something to keep your blood sugar stable and be nutrient packed. Some blueberries and almonds, perfect snack. So cultured food, again, like yogurt or kefir, um, as you can tolerate them. If you're new to fiber, if you're just introducing this, I just do want to put a caveat to say that you should start slowly. Don't bombard your system with a ton of fiber all at once. It might not handle it so well. So we're going to introduce these things, you know, a little at a time, or one, you know, just add one thing a day for a week and then maybe try adding a little more the following week. But all this will help increase your microbial diversity in your gut over time. It's gentle healing. It's not forceful. So we, like I said, this didn't happen overnight. We're not going to fix it overnight. Your body has to have time to adjust to your new additions or new ways of eating. So the heart gut supportive grocery basics, things that you really should have in your pantry or your cupboards. And if you don't, maybe add them to your grocery list this week. Olive oil or avocado oil. Those are two great oils to cook with, to use for salad dressings. Just fantastic. Leafy greens. I love a big salad every day. Get in the, you know, the romaine and the kale and the whatever you like. Build a nice big leafy green salad. Uh, Frozen vegetables or fresh vegetables, either one works. But you know, what we talked about before, like 80 to 90% of Americans aren't meeting their, um, you know, required amount of fruits and vegetables for the day. So really, you know, add some veggies at every meal. Um, Again, berries, eggs. Eggs are great. Chicken, canned fish like tuna or salmon, lentils, oats, quinoa, um, and herbs and spices, because that's how we're going to enhance the flavors of our food. So just with that, like simple grocery list, there's so many meals and different things you can create. So you don't have to be bored and eat the same thing every day either. So, and all these foods are going to help stabilize your blood sugar. They're going to lower inflammation in your body, and they're going to support digestion. So it's like a fantastic trifecta of food. So, and all this, I just do want to remind you too that you don't have to be perfect, but you have to be consistent. Nobody expects perfection. So if you can just be consistent in what you're doing, that is going to matter tremendously over time. So maybe it's still cold here. It's February, so soup is a great thing. So, you know, maybe make a great lentil soup, lentils and vegetables with olive oil, garlic, carrots, celery, herbs, chicken stock. We've talked about how bone broth or stock is really good for your gut healing too. And this is going to be heart healthy and supportive to your system too. So I think, and it's also warm and comforting in cold weather months. Our food doesn't need to be complicated. It, uh, it can be powerful and simple and healing and nourishing without being overcomplicated. So, so if you're realizing how connected everything is, hopefully you're starting to realize that anyways, your gut, your heart, inflammation, cravings, let that bring you some clarity. I don't want it to overwhelm you. So maybe just sit with that a minute and think about that, how our body really is designed beautifully and wonderfully by God to heal itself with good, rich nutrients that we feed it. Um, you know, our bodies are responding to things that are in our food, or maybe trends in dieting or food that we've experienced over the years. It's not failing, and you just have to kind of retrain it sometimes and listen to it. Like learn to listen to your body. Healing is possible. Next week, we'll be talking about sustainable weight loss and heart health without diet culture. We'll talk about why restriction increases cortisol and cravings, how diet culture harms our health and our heart health, why consistency wins, especially for people in midlife, and how to want to change without hating your body. Um, this is the body we have. This body God gives us, and we need to love it and nourish it and take care of it too. So, if you'd like some personalized support, I do offer one-on-one nutrition coaching. You can learn more about that on my website at www.nourishwithregina.com. You can listen to this podcast and all the previous ones on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. You can also find me on Instagram and Facebook. So I just want to thank you for being here. Thank you again for the grace for missing that week. Life happens, and um, we just get back at it when we can. So your heart is resilient, your gut is adaptable, and healing is always possible. Thank you for joining me again. Have a wonderful day. Bye.